Groovy English Podcast.
Hey there! Welcome back to Groovy English. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Aiden. We share real stories, useful tips, and everyday English to help you grow with confidence.
Wherever you are in your English learning journey, we're glad you're here.
If you're enjoying the podcast, feel free to like, subscribe, or share it with a friend. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, this is Eva, and welcome back to Groovy English. Today, I want to share something really personal with you. Something small. Actually, it started small. But it ended up changing everything. I'm talking about small talk, those short, everyday conversations you have with people. At first, I thought small talk was useless. Just boring questions. How's the weather? Busy day? Do you come here often? But you know what? Small talk was how I built my English confidence, step by step. Let me take you back. A few years ago, I had just moved to a new city. My English was okay on paper. I could write emails. I understood movies with subtitles. But speaking in real life? That was a different story. Every time someone said, "Hi," to me, my heart would race. I'd panic. My brain would go blank. Even replying, "Good, and you?" felt like climbing a mountain. I wanted to improve, but I didn't know where to start. Then one day, I went to a local cafe. The barista smiled and said, "Hi, what can I get started for you?" I froze. I had heard that sentence before, but now it was real. I managed to mumble, cappuccino. That's it. But I left the cafe thinking, okay. I said something. I survived. So the next time, I prepared. Before I got to the cafe, I practiced a few simple lines. "Hi, how's your day going?" "I'll get the same as last time." "Thanks, have a good one." It felt awkward at first. Like I was acting. But over time, it started to feel natural. The barista started remembering me. She'd say, "Back again. You must really love coffee." And I'd laugh and say, "It's the best part of my day." That small interaction made me feel seen. And more importantly, it made me feel like I could do this. That's when I realized, small talk is low pressure, high reward. So I started looking for more opportunities. At the grocery store, "Is this line open?" In the elevator, going up or down. Even just smiling and saying, "Morning," to my neighbor. One of my favorite small talk moments happened in a bookstore. I was looking at a novel when someone next to me picked up the same one. I said, "That one's really good." I couldn't put it down. They smiled and said, "Oh nice, I'm looking for something new to read." We talked for 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes. But I walked out of the bookstore feeling like a champion. Those little moments added up. Every small talk taught me something, like how to start a conversation, how to respond quickly, and how to keep the conversation light, friendly, and flowing. Sometimes I made mistakes. Once, I told a cashier, "Enjoy your meal," instead of, "Have a nice day." We both laughed, and honestly, it made the moment better. I learned that mistakes don't kill conversations. They make them real. And here's the surprising thing, the more small talk I had, the easier big talk became. I started joining group conversations at work. I spoke up in meetings. I even gave a short presentation, something I never thought I could do. Because of small talk, I stopped being afraid of my accent. I stopped trying to speak perfect English. Instead, I focused on being present, being curious, and being kind. And that shift, it gave me confidence I never had before. If you're listening to this right now and thinking, "But Eva, I don't know what to say." Let me tell you, you don't need to say anything clever. Just ask a question. Give a compliment. Make an observation. Here are some lines I used again and again. "I like your bag, where did you get it?" "Busy day today." "Looks like rain, huh?" "This place always smells amazing." "Oh, I love that song too." It's not about being funny or smart. It's about making a connection, even for just a moment. And let me tell you something magical, people want to connect. They appreciate when someone says hi. When you show a little warmth, they give it back. One of the most powerful small talk moments I had was with a taxi driver. He asked me where I was from. I said Jakarta. We talked about food, traffic, family. By the end of the ride, he said, "Your English is really good." I smiled and said, "Thanks. I've been practicing, one small talk at a time." If I could go back and tell my old self one thing, it would be this: don't wait until you feel ready. Small talk is how you get ready. Now, I actually look forward to these little conversations, they brighten my day. And they remind me how far I've come. So if you're feeling shy, if you feel stuck, start with small talk. Anywhere. A shop. A train station. An online game. Just say hello. Ask a question. Smile. Even if you say only one sentence, that's progress. Even if the conversation ends quickly, that's courage. And if you keep doing it, day by day, you will build something big. After a few months of doing this, I noticed something else. I wasn't just improving my speaking, I was improving my listening, too. Small talk taught me to pay attention. I had to really listen to how people spoke, how they responded, and what kind of words they used. I started picking up on common phrases like, "Oh, totally. Tell me about it." "Yeah, that happens to me too." These little expressions added so much life to my own English. I kept a small notebook in my bag. After each small conversation, I'd write down a few things: what I said, what the other person said, and any new expressions I heard. It was like my personal treasure map of real English. Over time, my notebook filled up. It wasn't just a language tool anymore. It became a record of courage. Every page told a story of a moment where I spoke up, even if my voice was shaking. Sometimes I replayed those conversations in my head before I went to sleep. I'd smile and think, that was a good one. Or, next time, I'll say it a little better. But never, I failed. Because even a tiny hello is a success. There were also tough days. Like the time I said something and the other person didn't understand me. They smiled politely, nodded, and walked away. I felt embarrassed. For a second, I wanted to go back to silence. But then I remembered why I started. I reminded myself, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to grow. And growth is messy sometimes. So I tried again. The next day, I went to a park and said hi to a woman walking her dog. She smiled and said, "Hi. Beautiful day, isn't it?" We ended up talking for 5 minutes about her dog and how much she loved sunshine. After that chat, my confidence bounced right back. That's the beauty of small talk, it's easy to try again. Every conversation is a new chance. Some of my favorite small talk moments actually happened in line, like waiting for coffee, at the bank, or even at the bus stop. One time I said, "This line's taking forever, huh?" And the guy in front of me laughed and replied, "Tell me about it." We chatted until we got to the counter. I began to feel less like a language learner and more like a part of the community. People recognized me, waved hello, asked how my week was going. It felt so warm. And it all started with tiny conversations. One day at a party, someone introduced me to a group and said, "This is Eva, she's super friendly." That shocked me. Me? Friendly? A year ago I could barely say hi without panicking. That comment stuck with me. It made me realize that confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, word by word, smile by smile, talk by talk. Sometimes I would practice small talk by imagining situations. I'd ask myself, what would I say if someone asked me about the weather? Then I'd try a few answers aloud. "Yeah, it's been raining a lot lately." Or, "I love this cool breeze today." Practicing like that helped me feel ready for real-life situations. And when they actually happened, I wasn't caught off guard. I already had the words in my pocket. I also started changing the way I thought about mistakes. At first, I saw them as failures. But now I see them as progress markers. Every mistake is proof that I tried. And trying is what matters. I still remember the first time someone asked me for directions, in English. I was so nervous, but I gave it a try, turned left at the next street and walked 2 blocks. "It's near the bank." The person thanked me and walked away smiling. I felt like I had just won a gold medal. And when I think about it, I kind of did. It was a victory, a small one, but a real one. That one moment made all the other awkward ones worth it. Later on, I even started using small talk to help others. When I met new people who were shy or struggling with English, I'd make the first move. I'd say, "Hi, I love your shoes," or, is this your first time here? Just like others had done for me. The look of relief on their faces was so familiar. I knew exactly how they felt. And it made me feel proud to be the one offering comfort this time. I guess that's the full circle magic of small talk. It starts as a tool for learning, but it turns into a bridge. A bridge to connect, to encourage, to belong. Now, small talk is part of my daily life. I don't even think of it as practice anymore. It's just part of being human. Saying hi. Asking questions. Listening. Sometimes I still catch myself smiling after a conversation. I'll be walking down the street thinking, that was such a nice chat. And it's amazing how something so simple can leave such a big impact. If you're still wondering whether small talk matters, let me tell you, it does. Every conversation adds a brick to the foundation of your confidence. So don't wait for perfect grammar. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start. One line. One smile. One small talk at a time. Speak to the barista. Compliment someone's jacket. Ask the bus driver how their day's going. These aren't just small moments, they're your practice field, your warm-up, your gateway to fluency. And even if you're shy, it's okay. You don't have to be outgoing to be confident. You just have to be willing. Willing to try. Willing to learn. Willing to connect. I promise you this, if you make space for small talk in your life, English will stop feeling like a subject you study and start feeling like a language you live. Because small talk doesn't just improve your English, it shapes your courage, your relationships, your identity. Now when I walk into a new place, a cafe, a bookstore, even a dentist's office, I look for those small windows of opportunity. A smile, a hello, a little comment about the weather or the music playing. I don't pressure myself to say anything profound. I just focus on being present and open. Sometimes those conversations stay small, just a minute or two. But once in a while, they blossom into something more. I've made new friends that way. I've learned about different cultures, different opinions, and different ways of seeing the world, all because I dared to speak up. Looking back, I can't believe that someone who used to avoid eye contact now initiates conversations. That's the power of small talk. It doesn't just change your speaking skills. It changes how you see yourself. You go from, I can't, to, maybe I can, to, actually, I am doing it. So if you're listening and feeling unsure, I hope my story gives you a little nudge. Just remember, fluency isn't built in one day. It's built in tiny, consistent, human moments. And it all begins with a hi. You've got this. Go out there, talk to someone new, and watch your confidence grow, one small conversation at a time. Sometimes, I replay those early conversations in my head, not to judge myself, but to see how far I've come. I notice how my tone has changed, how I pause less, how my vocabulary feels more natural. These aren't things that happened overnight. They came from real-life practice, not textbooks. I remember one evening at a night market. I bought some street food, and the vendor asked where I was from. We ended up chatting for almost 10 minutes, in English. I told him about my hometown, and he shared how he learned basic English by listening to pop songs. We both laughed and nodded through small language hiccups, but we understood each other. That felt amazing. And there was this moment on a bus when a tourist was clearly lost. I tapped them gently and asked, "Are you okay? Need help with directions?" The conversation was short, but it mattered. I used to be the one too scared to speak up. Now, I was the one offering help. I've learned that confidence is not about being perfect. It's about showing up, even when your voice shakes a little. Every time I open my mouth and try, I'm choosing growth. And the more I choose it, the less scary it becomes. Small talk has truly transformed me, from a quiet observer into an active part of the world around me. And I believe it can do the same for you. So go ahead, ask that question, make that comment, say, "Hi." You never know what beautiful connection might begin from something small. It did all that for me. And that's why I say, small talks built my big confidence. That's how small talks built my big confidence. And if it worked for me, it can work for you too. Thanks for listening. And if you're out there thinking, can I really do this? Yes. You can. One little chat at a time.
Your English is shining brighter by the minute. Hit that next video to keep leveling up your skills. Or dive into our other episodes for more secrets to talk like a pro. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to join the Groovy English crew.